now part 3 on the Chevy Corvette. Today I'm on the next version, which is now the C3 Corvette from 1968 to 1982. So before I get started with that one, make sure you all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you let when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so without any further ado, let's begin. So the Gen 3 C3 Corvette. So this Gen 3 C3 Corvette. Say C3 Corvette. Say C3 Corvette from 1968 so 1968 to 1982. Here we go. So the Gen 3 Corvette patterned after the Mako Shark 2 concept car was introduced for the 68 model year and was in production until 1982. So 1982 C3 coupes. C3 coupes featured the first. So C3 coupes. C3 coupes featured the first use of T-top removable roof panels. It introduced nicknames that were later revived, so like returned from like the dead, or something like that, such as LT1, so LT1 CR1, so LT1 CR1 CO7, so LT1 CR1 CO7 and collector edition in 1978. Corvette's 25th anniversary. So 25th anniversary. So 25th anniversary was celebrated with a two-tone silver anniversary edition and an pace car replica edition. So Indy pace car replica edition of the Z3. This was also the first time that a Corvette was used as a pace car. as a pace car. So pace car for the Indy 500 in Indiana. Both engines and chassis components were mostly carried over from the previous generation, the C2 second gen, but both the body and interior were new. The 5.7 liter 350 V8 replaced the old 5.36 liter 5.36 liter 327 V8. So the 5.7 liter 350 V8 replaced the old 5.36 1969 was the only year for a C3 to optionally offer either a factory 1969. So 1969 was the only year for a C3 to optionally offer either a factory installed side exhaust or just a standard normal, so just a standard rear exit exhaust with a chrome exhaust tips. The all aluminum, seven, so 7 liter. So the all aluminum, uh, so the all aluminum, so the all aluminum CL1. So essentially it was a five. So essentially it was a 7 liter. So 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 the ZL1, which is essentially an all aluminum 7 liter, 7 liter big block 427 V8. So the all aluminum big block 7 liter 427 ZL1 V8. V8 was also new for 1969. So they went from a 5.7 liter 350 to a mighty 7 liter 427. So it's now 427 cubic inches of raw, pure American V8 power. Pretty good. Say the all aluminum, so all aluminum big block 427 7 liter ZL1 V8 was also new for 1969. The special racing V8 was listed at 430 horsepower, but was reported to produce an extra 130 more, so up to 560 horsepower. So 560 horsepower and accelerated ZL1 through a quarter mile in 10.89, well less than 10.9, to 11 seconds. So technically, there's an extended production run for the 69 model year due to a lengthy labor strike, which meant sales were down. Were down on the 1970 models to 17,000. So 17,316. So 17,316. So essentially like less than 20,000 in general. 1970 small block power peaked with the optional. So 1970 small block power peaked. So 1970 small block power peaked with the optional high compression. So high compression, or high compressed, I would say high revving. So high compressed, high revved, small block LT1 7-liter V8. I think it was a 7-liter, unless it was 5.7. Either a 350 or a 427. I believe so. I believe it was a 7-liter V8. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was a 7-liter. Anyways. So 1970 small block power that produced 370 horsepower. Not bad, 370 horsepower. The 7-liter 427 big block. So the 7-liter 427 big block V8. So the 7-liter 427 big block V8 was enlarged to a mighty 7.4. So 7.4 liter. Says 7-liter 4. So 7.4 liter 454 V8 with a rating of 390 horsepower, almost 400 horsepower from a 7.4 liter 454 V8. Most Chevelles use a 454 V8. A lot of power, like especially with a 400 horsepower rating. That's pretty good. The ZR1 special, the ZR1 special pack was an option available on the 70 through 72 model years and included the LT1 V8 combined with special racing equipment. Only 53 ZR1s were built. In 1971, started the very early 70s to accommodate rear low-lead fuel with lower anti-lock properties. The engine compression ratios were lowered, which resulted in unfortunately reduced power ratings. Unfortunately, as such, the power rating for the 5.7 liter 350 base L48 V8 decreased from 300 to 270 horsepower. I mean, yeah, like 30 horsepower less, but it was still pretty powerful enough. So from 300 to 270, and the so from 300 to 270 horsepower, and the optional special high performance LT1 V8s decreased from a whopping 40 horsepower less, from 370 to 330. I mean, like 40 horsepower less, but still, like I said, pretty powerful enough. So from 370 to 330, the 7.4 liter, the 7.4 liter, so 7.4 liter, 7.4 liter, 454 LS5 V8 motor was both carried over, both carried over and produced so the 7-liter 457 liter, so the 7.4 liter 454 LS5 V8 motor was carried over and produced 365 horsepower. Not bad. Offered in 71 only was the big block 7.4 liter. So the big block, so offered in 1971 only was the big block 7 point. Excuse me. Was the big block 7.4 liter. So 7.4 liter. 7.4 liter. Say big block 7.4 liter. So 7.4 liter. So offered in 1971 only was the big block 7.4 liter. 7.4 liter 454. So 454 LS6 instead of LS5 is now an LS6 V8. Featuring aluminum headers or aluminum heads and delivering 425 horsepower, 60 more than the previous LS, so 60 more than the LS5 version of that motor. Pretty good 425 horsepower. Somewhat the same as a 2009, I think. Well, 08 to 09. So 08 to 09, Challenger SRT8 with a naturally aspirated 6.1 liter Hemi V8 with 425 horsepower. Pretty good, the same power as a 1970 Challenger RT. The first gen of that car. I think it was the first gen or second gen. I can't remember. But oh well. So offered in 1971 only was the 7.4 liter big block 454 LS6 V8 featuring 7.4 liter big block 454 LS6 V8 featuring aluminum heads and delivering 400 425 horsepower, the highest of the 70 to 72, so 1970-1972 series, and could be ordered with an automatic instead of a manual for the 72 model year. 72 model year. GM moved to the SAE net measurement. So GM moved to the SAE net measurement, which resulted in further reduced but more realistic power ratings than the previous SAE Cross standard. Although the 72 models is 350 5.7 liter V8 horsepower was actually the same as that for the 71 model. So it was actually the same as that for the 71 model year. The lower net horsepower. The lower net horsepower. The lower net horsepower numbers were used instead of gross horsepower. Apparently, the base the base L80, so the base L48 V8 reading fell to just 200 horsepower SAE, and the optional LT1 also SAE dropped to 270 horsepower. But it's not bad. I mean, 270 horsepower before an LT1, but has more than the L48 produced by 70 horsepower. And the optional LT1 dropped to 270 SAE. 74 models had the last true dual exhaust system that was dropped on the 1975 models with the intro of the catalytic converters which could be poisonous. I'm not too sure. Lead. So engine power decreased with the base ZQ3 motor producing 165 horsepower. The optional L82's output 205 horsepower. I mean 40 more than the ZQ3, but still it's not so much anyways. While the 454 big block V8 was unfortunately discontinued. 7.4 liters of mayhem. Well, mayhemic heaven is unfortunately gone for them from that part. So while the 7 liter, well, 7.4 liter to be exact. So 7.4 liter, 454 big block V8 was discontinued. Gradual power increases after 1975 peaked in 1980 with the model's optional L82 producing 230 horsepower. In its final year, 81 saw a single motor, the L81, which had 190 horsepower, while the fuel injected 1982 L83 had just 200 horsepower. Styling changed subtly throughout the generation until 1978. For the car's 25th anniversary, the Stingray nameplate wasn't used on the '68 model, but Chevy still referred to the Corvette as a Stingray. However, 69 through 76 models used the Stingray name as one word, which is without the space. in 1970, a year later, the body design was updated, including fender flares. So fender flares and interiors were refined, including redesigned seats and indication lights. So redesigned seats and indication lighting. So indication lights near the gear stick that were an early use of fiber optics to comply with these pathetic government safety regulations. The 73 Corvette's chrome front bumper. So the 73 Corvettes. So 73 Corvettes. Chrome. So 73 Corvettes. Chrome front bumper was changed to a 5-mile-an-hour system with a urethane bumper cover. Not sure if it's polyurethane. I'm not sure, or is it just urethane? So 5-mile-an-hour system with a urethane bumper cover. What is polyurethane? Said to comply with government safety regulations. The 73 Corvette's chrome front bumper was changed to a 5-mile-an-hour system with a polyurethane bumper cover, while the rear retained the two-piece chrome bumper set. Its last year, the optional wire-smoked wheel covers. So for like the left, Only 45 CO7s. Only 45 CO7s were built in 1973. So in 1973, 474 onwards, both the front and rear bumpers were polyurethane. In 1974, so 1974, a 5 mile an hour rear. So in 1974, a 5 mile per hour, so mile an hour rear bumper system. So rear bumper system with a two-piece tapering. So two-piece tapering. So two-piece tapering or tapering, whatever you want to call it, or like how you call it. Urethane bumper cover replaced the replaced the cam tail and chrome bumper blades and matched the new front design from the previous year. Camtail is often known as camback or K-tail, which is an automotive styling feature wherein the rear of the car slopes down, being before abruptly cut off with either vertical or near vertical surface. A camback reduces aerodynamic drag, thus improving fuel efficiency and reducing fuel consumption while maintaining a practical shape for a car. The camback is named after German aerodynamicist. So aerodynamicist Winnebald Cam. So Winnebald Cam. So WUNIBALD was his first name, and Cam was spelled KAMM. So German. Born April 26th, 1893, in the city of Basel, in northwest Switzerland, on the river Rhine. Passed away age 73 on October 11th, 1966. And the capital was Stuttgart, in the German state of Baden-Württemberg, and is both the capital and largest city in the German state of Baden-Württemberg. Can't really pronounce that one. I mean, my German's a bit, like, it's completely weak, I'll be honest with you. Anyways, back to the Corvette. In 1974, a 5 mile an hour rear bumper system with a two-piece tapering urethane bumper cover. Bumper cover replaced the cam tail, both the cam tail and chrome bumper blades, and matched the new front design from the previous year, the 75 model year. The 75 model year. So 75 model year ended the convertible body style until it returned 11 years later in 1986. And GM automotive engineer Dave McLean. So Dave McLean, his last name is spelled McLean. so in the upper uh, peninsula city of Munising in Ellicott County, Michigan. So Dave McClellan, same automotive engineer from GM, most notably the chief engineer for the Corvette for 1975 until his retirement in 1992. So for like 17, 18 years, something like that. Anyways, so the 75, the 75 model year, 75 model year ended the convertible body style until it returned 11 years later, and Dave McClellan succeeded Zora Arkostatov as the Corvette's chief engineer. For those who don't know who he is, Zora Arkostatov, his full name is Zachary Zora Arkostatov, born in the capital of Brussels, in Belgium, I think it's the capital. I'm not too sure. Hang on, we'll just double check. Oh yeah, in the capital of Brussels in Belgium, which was a country that both the British and the German, so that both the Germans and the British would have someplace to go, like to sort out their differences. So, anyways, so Zora Arkostatov, born in the capital of Brussels in Belgium on Christmas Day, December 25th, 1909, passed away, age 86, on April 21st, 1996, in Grosse Pointe, Wayne County, Michigan. So he was both a Russian and American engineer whose work on the Corvette earned him the nickname Father of the Corvette. His cause of demise was, to be honest, I gotta go because it doesn't actually say like how he passed away, but it does say that he passed away in Detroit on April 21st, 1996, and his ashes were entombed at the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So, and also, this next part is literally what I think is the coldest memo ever. Pulitzer. So spelled P-U. So Pulitzer. I can't pronounce it, but it's spelled Pulitzer. Prize-winning columnist George Will wrote in his obituary that if you don't mourn his passing, you're not a good American. Like, that is just literally the coldest and most thoughtful memo that we will ever 1986, the Wall Street Journal called him perhaps the most powerful journalist in America. He won the Pulitzer Prize for commentary in 1977. Pretty cool. Alright, back to the Corvette. In 74, so 74, a 5 mile an hour rear bumper system with a two. So in 74, a 5 mile an hour, 5 mile an hour rear bumper system with a two-piece uh, tapering urethane bumper cover replaced the camtail and chrome bumper plates. So chrome bumper plates and matched the new front design. Their new front design from the previous year, the 75 model year, 75 model year ended the convertible body style until it returned 11 years later, and Dave McClellan. So until it returned 11 years later, and Dave McClellan succeeded Zora Arkostatov as Corvette's chief engineer. 4076 models. The fiberglass floor was replaced with steel panels to provide protection from the catalytic converter's high operating temperature. So from the catalytic converters HOT or hot, which is short for, that's what I came up with, short for high operating temperature. And also that's gonna be like a bit confusing from that kind of like memo, but oh well. I just decided to keep up with that, but oh well. Same. High operating temperature for 15 years. 15 years. So for 15 model years. 15 model years to be exact. The names Corvette. So Corvette Stingray. So Corvette Stingray and Stingray. So there's two. One was a space between the words Sting and Ray, and just another with just a regular Stingray, just joined together. So we're synonymous. Synonymous. 77. So 77 was the last year. So 77 was the last year. Last year, the tunneled roof treatment with a vertical rear window. So rear window was used. In addition, leather seats were available at no additional cost for the first time, like for free. The black exterior color returned after a 6-year absence. The 78 25th anniversary. The 25th anniversary model introduced. So the 25th anniversary model introduced the Fastbutt. So the 25th anniversary model introduced the fastback glass. So the fastback glass rear window, and featured a new interior, both new interior and dashboard. Corvette's 25th anniversary was celebrated with the Indy 500 pace car. It's an Indy 500 pace car. It's a pace car limited edition and a silver, both that and a silver anniversary model. Silver anniversary model. So silver anniversary model featuring silver over gray lower body paint. All 79 all 79 models. All 79 so all 79 models featured the previous year's uh, pace car seats, and offered both the front and rear wings, so front and rear spoilers as optional equipment. 53,000 so 53,807 were produced for the model year, making 1979 the peak production year. The peak production year for all versions of the Corvette. Sales have trended downward, like they decreased since then. In 1980, a year later, start with the very early 80s, the Corvette received an integrated aerodynamic redesign. So integrated aerodynamic redesign, not redesign, integrated aerodynamic redesign that resulted in a significant reduction in drag. It's like significant drag reduction. It's like reduces drag, so it's pretty good. After several years of weight increases, 1980 Corvettes. 1980 Corvettes were lighter. So were lighter as engineers trimmed. So trimmed off both the body plus the weight. So they trimmed off the weight of both the body and chassis. Pretty good. In mid 81, so in the middle of 1981, in the middle of 1981, production relocated from St. Louis. So from St. Louis, Missouri. So St. Louis, Missouri. So St. Louis, Missouri to Bowling Green. So from St. Louis, Missouri to Bowling Green, Warren County, Kentucky. So Bowling Green, Warren County. So Bowling Green, Warren County. So Bowling Green, Warren County, Kentucky. were all subsequent generations of the Corvette have since been manufactured. So have been manufactured ever since. And several two-tone paint options were offered. The 81 models. So from 1981. So those models. So the 1981 models were the last available with a manual until well into the 1984 production run. last available with a manual until well into the '84 production run. Last part, and I'll end it for today. So last part, and I'll call it a night. In 1982. So in 1982. So in '82, a fuel injected V8 returned. So a fuel injected V8 returned as a final C3 tribute collector's edition featured an exclusive opening rear window opening rear window hatch. That's pretty cool. Alright, so that'll be it for tonight. So for my next Corvette video will be about the Gen 4 version, the C4 Corvette from 1984 to 1996. So it's kind of named after an explosive device, technically C4. So for my next Corvette video will be about the Gen 4, A.K.A. C4 Corvette. And like, why, like, they literally named it after it's like, they named it after, like, it's named after an explosive device. Again, I don't know why, but anyways, guys, so that'll be it for tonight. So if you guys like this, so if you guys like this video, like and subscribe. Say like and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell and hit all so you're alerted when I make brand new uploads. Alright. So that'll be it. I gotta go sleep now. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe. Stay safe. Have a great evening. Stay safe. Have a great evening. And have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Take care, folks. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you guys soon. Good night.